So, the most popular comment I've gotten so far is, how do the finances work if you do a PhD in the middle of medical school? Let me explain. So there are two things here. Number one is the funding for undergraduate medical school in the UK, and number two is the funding for an integrated PhD. So to address number one, medical school is funded as per normal. Your tuition fees and maintenance allowance are covered as they normally would be. The first 4 years of a 6-year undergraduate medical degree, and I say 6 years because I'm at UCL and medical school at UCL is 6 years. The first 4 years are covered by student finance as per normal. Your last 2 years, your penultimate and final year of medical school, are covered by the NHS bursary, again as per normal. Now let's talk about funding for the PhD. If you want to do a science PhD in the UK, regardless of whether you do it in the middle of medical school or whenever, to my knowledge, it will always be funded. You will not get a project if there isn't funding that comes with it. If you're international, it's different. I've known international students to self-fund their own PhDs and they pay a lot of money in tuition fees. But if you're a home student, as I am, and you want to do a science PhD, it will probably be funded. You will not get a project if it doesn't come with funding, if that makes sense. Now, let's talk specifically about MB-PhDs. So I applied and got accepted to the UCL MB-PhD program in my 3rd year of medicine at UCL, but they didn't give me any projects or funding. I had to go and figure that out on my own. The acceptance to the program effectively just gave us permission to take time out to do research for a long time, but we had to go and find our own projects and funding. It's slightly different now. So how did we all get funding for our project? As I said before, you will not do a scientific PhD project unless there is a pot of money that has already been allocated for that project. So how do you then find projects that already come with funding? So people in my year of the MB-PhD applied to different institutes and existing PhD programs. Some people in my year applied to the Francis Crick Institute and they got allocated to projects that came with funding that way. Some people applied to other UCL doctoral programs, and again, those would come with pots of money for specific projects. And I spoke to a lot of supervisors and labs who didn't have advertised PhD projects, but whose research I found interesting. So I looked at their labs online, then set up several meetings with the supervisors of those labs to discuss potentially doing a PhD project in their lab. And by and large, the response I got was, we'd love to have you, but unless you come with your own funding, we can't take you because we can't fund you. I went around different labs, different supervisors, until I found my current supervisor, who happened to have funding set aside for the project that I did. In a nutshell, if you want to do a scientific PhD in the UK, it will come with funding because you will just not do the PhD otherwise. Because it's not just about covering your stipend and your living costs, but someone has to pay for the consumables for the lab, for your experiments, etc. And I will go into details of how much I actually got paid to do my PhD in a separate video. If you're interested in that, hit that follow button and I will see you next time. Bye for now.